Today we're going to talk about hooking up your solar panels. If you've never done this before, it's not hard. First you want to verify which wire is positive and which wire is negative. Look at that, 16 volts, straight out of a shop light. I don't even have sunshine. Okay, so you take your positive wire, then you slip on your shrink tube, and you take your other positive wire, because I'm going to connect them both to one wire. Okay, so two positives, and slip the shrink tube on it. So once you crimp it together, you're going to be like, oh, crud. Alright, so that barely fits on there. Now you take your homemade wire crimp butt splice, which is just a piece of copper tube. Slip that over on this end, or you could put it right at the end. Put this on here. Get these all, you want every single strand in there, just like so. Be sure you got it all. Now's the time to crimp away. I'm only going to crimp part of it because I think I want to fold it over so I can it'll fit in there better. Oh, you know what? I forgot my dielectric grease. Alright, once you get everything together with your dielectric grease, crimp it, squeeze it, compact it, then tug on both ends. If it's loose, it's not tight enough. Now that it's tight enough, now you can slip your sleeve, your shrink tube over it. It's ready to go. Okay, once you've made your connections, two positives into my positive wire, two negatives into the negative wire. Notice how they're offset. So if this situation where the shrink tube were to puncture and you don't want them touching together, positive and negative, so that keeps that risk down, go ahead and take some silicone. This is some automotive silicone, and coat both ends of your shrink tube to ensure that, and all the way around, coat everything. Give it an extra layer of protection to keep the weather out, and then you're set. Okay, so your solar panels are on the roof. Your wiring is hooked up, and the coating is drying. And you might have wondered, how did I get the wire down there? Well, you don't want to drill any holes in your roof, right? So take the path of least resistance. Of course, there is a nice channel in every RV that exhausts the refrigerator. You just take the cap off, look down there, you can see the bottom. Drop your wire straight down there. Drill a hole through the drain pan, and the rest I'll show you. So your wire comes down through the refrigerator vent. Find your grate that looks just like this. Could be bigger or smaller, but they all look about like this. Take it off, look inside. you'll already see where wires have passed through things. So you get inside your RV, remove a speaker in my case, which was under the fridge, and voila, open chasm of space, or I can see this wire coming through. I can see the propane coming through. I can see a drain hose coming through. So once I look the other side, I see this is a perfect avenue. So I drilled myself a hole. And I used an old piece of hose to protect my wire. The wire went straight through there. Where's the wire go next? All right. Now you see the bottom of my fridge. See that plastic pan? Obviously it was the manufacturers said this is a perfect place for wire to go through. So I'm calling all the shots. Perfect place for the wire to go through. So my wire comes down, goes around my power box, which is this thing, which is a really nice enclosure for my cords on the outside. And then I said, okay, I need to get to the batteries. Where's a good place to drill through the floor? Hey, look, there's a hose right here that goes through the floor. So you get underneath the RV and you find where this hose comes out. And it's just a drain hose for the fridge. And you determine a good spot to go ahead and drill a hole through the floor. So you drill a hole through the floor, pop your wire through there. Now it's below your RV. All you have to do is find the best path of travel under your RV. And in my case, I just followed the other lines and wires. I went across the RV and I went over, following other lines and the frame rail. And I decided that I was gonna pop up right here. Super simple. All I did was look on both sides, double check, do a little measuring, and knowing that my battery is right here under this step, you really have to decide for yourself, where's your charge controller going to be? And for a minute, I thought my charge controller could be right here. It's just an unused panel, but there's too much gray area over there. The wires getting up to there, it just wasn't a good option. So I slept on it, I thought it through, and I thought the best way would be to come up near the battery box, inside the cupboard. The wire can come out right here, and I can mount my charge controller right here. That way, when I want to marvel at how awesome the charges coming from my solar panel into my battery are doing, I can just sit down right here on the step and I can look at my charge controller. I can push the buttons on it, can have all kinds of fun. So the next chapter of this will be the simplicity of hooking up the charge controller. And I got a high-end, top-of-the-line charge controller. I just want to say right now, do not buy the Renogy brand. It's garbage. It's just the connections are weak. It's horrible. I got a nice XANTREX on the way, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, once you've got your wire routed, I can't stress this enough. This is the where that drain hose pokes out from inside and below my fridge. Cover your wires. This is a metal floor pan. It's just a thin sheet metal, but it's a nice high quality floor pan covering. You do not want water seeping in. The tire is right behind my camera. It's going to be throwing up spray constantly. So once you protect your wires through the hole, seal it up. Double check your whole path of travel for your wire.